Okay, so welcome to today's training. We're discussing compensation plan, part 3, right? Compensation plan. Okay, sometimes we call it compensation plan. Now, in compensation plan, this is where we are saying La Buena Vida is a solution, right? This is where we're saying this business is a solution, this platform is a solution. Let us dissect it and show you how exactly it can solve that problem. Maybe it was expanding business, expanding ideas. So the way I begin mine is I tell them what you're about to see is something you might have seen before, tried it before, heard of it before, or even failed at it before. But anybody that listens to the words of failure will eventually become a failure. So ladies and gentlemen, sit back, pay attention, allow a professional show you how exactly you can succeed in the connected economy. Let me show to you a very powerful system. That is the connected economy and how exactly you can execute it. Boom. And then we start. So in that, depending on the slide you are seeing, some persons, their slide go this way. Testimony, when it comes to compensation plan. Testimony, products, and then the compensation plan, how the money is being made. Alright? Some persons, it starts with how the money is being made, products, and testimony. Alright? Then talking about the system as well. Okay? So these are like the parts of a compensation plan. We're going to talk about the system, how do we connect to people, how the money is being made, products, and testimony. All right, so 4 parts of a compensation plan. Testimony, okay, no particular order. Testimony, products, how money is being made. Are we together? And then we have right there, just missed it. I'll have to cut this. Okay, in no particular order, we have 4 parts. Okay, product, how the money is being made, testimony, and the system. In no particular order: product, how the money is being made, testimony, and the system, how to connect to people. All right, these are the 4 parts of a compensation plan. So depending on which person's slide you got access to, okay, that is how you follow through with it. But ensure every slide you are using, you make it to suit you as a person, so that when you press next on the clicker, what you see next does not surprise you. If you trust me, that can be very awful and very crazy, and you're like, oh, so this is here. But as a professional, you know how to just brace it up, and they won't know because you're in charge. So with whatever arrangement you have as regards to your slide, you know it best. Okay, but what I'm saying is some analysis I use, and mine as well, I always begin with the product. I begin with the product, and then I break down the product. This is what this product is doing. This is what it... So aside from understanding the business, you need to still go and study the product. What does it do? What does it do? Because some persons will say yes to the opportunity because of the product. So you are breaking down the products. C247 does this. Complete does this. Energy pendant. You explain everything. All right. Once you are done explaining that, the next thing you now move to explaining the system. This is how mine is. In the system, you are saying this is how, as a connector. Remember, in dream building, you mentioned who a connector is. Now you are saying this is how exactly, as a connector, you can use the system and make connections. So you are saying we connect Peter, we connect Paul, we connect this, we connect that, and all of that. Okay, using third-party recommendation, using questionnaire, using online eligibility link, using big announcement, home launch, brand launch, and all of that. So you are explaining the business, how it works. You are telling them the reason you are here is because Nkechi did not explain the business to you. Nkechi simply sent you a text. Somebody else called you, and now I'm here presenting to you. Can you send a simple text message? Yes, which means you can do the business. That is part of the system. All right. Once you are done with that, you now show them how the money works. So once you start, the next thing is mentorship. We're having your QSG and your IPO, quick start guide and initial plan orientation. Yes, you're going to make money, but first we have to mentor you and coach you and show you what you need to do. So in doing that, we'll go ahead using the system you just talked about, all right, to connect Peter, to connect Paul, to connect Ada. Somebody's getting it. So in doing that, one is positioned on your left 4,500, one is positioned on your right 4,500. It matches and pay you 7,000 naira. The next you begin to leverage Ada and Peter. They are running the business, and then you are leveraging, because as long as there's one on your left, one on your right, it will match up and pay you 7,000 naira. But your business has the capacity within the next 2 to 5 years for it to hit its maximum, which is 40 matches in a day, giving you 240,000, 80,000. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. So that is it. Okay. So within the next 2 to 5 years, your business has capacity of reaching its maximum potential, which is the amount you see on your slide and all of that. So you are stating it and then you're flowing through. Then you ask them, is this fantastic or super fantastic? They might not respond, but pause. Tell them, if I were to give you approximately 50,000 naira today to start a business, what is the possibility of you within the next 3 months, 6 months, to have raised 560,000 naira? Is that possible? You say, no, it's not possible. I'll even lose the money. Boom. But with this business, you can leverage, and they're like, oh, okay. Immediately you move from 1 account to 3 accounts to 7 accounts to 15 accounts. Now you have to note the numbers. How much is 1 account? So you don't start looking at the screen pronouncing the numbers. How much is 3 accounts? How much is 7 accounts? How much is 15 accounts? What are the incomes that will flow in once the registration is done? And all of that. You need to understand all of that as regards to presenting. Alright? And once that is done, the next thing we're moving to testimonials. Testimonials, understand that you're not sharing your story. Some testimonials you can share your story. So there are sometimes I don't even share my story at the beginning. I happen to share my story at the very end. Alright? I happen to share my story at the very end. So at this testimonial part, you are sharing other people that have plugged into the business, their story, their background, what they didn't like, where they see themselves, boom. Background, what they didn't like. So you can share minimum, let's say 3 stories or 2 stories. Don't bore them with stories. And once that is done, understand that we've touched the 4 parts. Product, remember how it is? We have products, we've touched on that, correct? We've touched on system, we've touched on how the money is being made, and now we've touched on testimonial. And once that is done, you now give them a breakdown of what they stand to gain, what they stand to lose. You analyze everything, explain to them how we're here to mentor and coach with them, how the business started, where we are, where we're heading to. You share our vision with them. And if you're the one closing, we move to closing. If you're not the one closing, you take a pause, you tell them, you won't be the one giving them room for mentorship. What you are going to do is bring in somebody, a leader, somebody that held you by the hand, mentored you, give you access to this same mentorship. And that person is going to handle the selection process. So with a rising applause, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause, okay? Standing ovation, round of applause. Permit me, welcome. You bring in the person, you take a bow, and then you leave. This is it for Complan part 3, all right? So this is it for Complan part 3. So now let's move to closing. Right? Let's move to closing. For those that intend to learn closing and know how to close. Now understand that this presenting is one skill in this business. Closing is on another skill entirely. A very different skill entirely. So I might not stress really on closing. Closing is something that you have to see happen and then you flow in that energy. Okay? You cannot execute closing at 100% by just listening to me do it. Not possible. Not possible. Okay? You need to be in that mood. You just need to see it, all right? So I'm still going to touch on key things as regards to closing, and then we'll call it a wrap, understanding how to present. Even you watching this video in some weeks time, months time, you start presenting, you will not be the one closing. Somebody else will close for you. That's an expert, all right? But this is worst case scenario. That day is only you, rain fair, it's only you that is in the office, and the people are looking at you, and you're looking at them. You should know how to close them to get them to make an informed decision. All right, I'll see you at the next training.